I'm going to enter the first one. And for the brevity of this video, so that it doesn't carry on too long, I'm not going to do all of these vehicles. I'm going to do one vehicle. We're going to put it into DSP Workplace, and then we're going to put it over into Cortex. So let's put this one into DSP Workplace. I'm going to search for SEP293 in my vehicles list and hit enter. That's important on this search field, or hit that search button. And this vehicle we want to make sure is accurate and up to date. We hit the little edit pencil icon. And sometimes when they're archived, they'll have this big long number at the end. We want to make sure we use the vehicle ID that we put in the daily planner. That's this vehicle ID right here. And we want to make sure that it matches. This is a naming convention that helps us search for things. At the end of it, we put a -XL. This is for the schedulers when they're rostering drivers and assigning them to the vans. They can choose the appropriate van size. So if it's a CDV, you put CDV 12, CDV 16, step for step van, and -L for standard parcel large, was a little bit smaller van. Okay. All the rest of the required information is up to date. If you're in a hurry, if you have a little bit of time, you can add little details. Like this vehicle doesn't have license plate expiration. Go grab that off the vehicle and put it in there, or find out what it is, usually by physically inspecting the vehicle. So we can actually change the status to active when we are ready to assign that van and we confirm that we have it. Right now, we just rented the vans and we haven't picked them up yet. So we can't guarantee that they'll be there. So I typically leave them in the inactive status so that when we're getting ready to do the sanity check in the morning, we can quickly switch that over to active. Or once I physically have the vehicle, I come back here as part of that checklist and add the vehicle. So in Asana, we actually have a checklist for this. It is called the InCheck New Vehicle Checklist, and it is a easily launchable from a computer or the web version of Asana. You just hit the plus icon and go down to InCheck New Vehicle Checklist. And it takes it a second to create, depending on the speed of the vehicle. All right. All right, it was created. So now we click on it and we immediately change it to what we are going to name the vehicle. So SEP293 is now going to become RX51 right here. Okay. I want to make sure that I use the same name when I'm creating this. This will help us search for it later in case there's a problem with the reservation, or we need a document of the photos that we took when we picked it up. And we're basically running this checklist now. After we rapidly rented these 5 vehicles, we're ready to start the process of in-checking this vehicle into our systems. That starts with launching this checklist here. Okay, this is the InCheck New Vehicle Checklist, and it has basic information that we need to get for the vehicle, and we follow these tasks. So the first task is to obtain the rental agreement PDF, okay, and upload it to this task. Well, we go back over to our Firefox page for SEP293, and we are going to download this receipt right here, okay? And it downloaded to our downloads folder, and this is SEP293. SEP293. Yes, right there. I can see it. I can do a quick look. And you can see, yeah, that's SEP293. So we have that rental reservation document, but I want to rename the reservation document so that I can, quickly identify it in my list here for referencing, because we're going to be doing about 5 of them. Okay. And then at the end of it, I like to put the rental expiration date. So the rental expiration date is It's July. Is that July 4th? Yeah, that's July 4th. So we exchanged a long-term for this. And so we've got that same long-term expiration date. So 07042024. And that is the expiration date. So now that we have that reservation document, we can follow the instructions here. It says attach it to this task. So we can add a document. You can either click the add button on depending on which program you're using, but if you just click and drag this over to the task, it drops it right on it. So we've got that rental agreement document done. I'm gonna change the date of this task to tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. That's when the reservation is for, or thereabout. I think it is actually, let's look. That's 8 a.m. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. right here. And got the next item on the subtask list for this checklist. Add to the daily planner, fleet planner, and name the vehicle. And it gives you a format to do it. We did that right away. When you start doing this, you become familiar with the process and you just sort of start going to work on it. But you have to have checklist discipline. So even though you can do these items out of sequence, depending on the circumstances or whatever comes to your mind first or however you're handling it, you always come back to this checklist and make sure that these items are performed. That will ensure you don't forget anything. And that's what they're there for. It's why they're created. If you follow these tasks, you will do the complete in-checking of this new vehicle without any issues. And you won't forget anything. No little details are unturned in this checklist. And if you do see an issue with it, either go up and change it or let one of the managers know that that item needs to be updated for future tasks templates launched for this in-check new vehicle checklist. So it's modifying and evolving over time. Add this to the daily planner, fleet planner. We've already done it. And then we got to go to Cortex Fleet and then add the vehicle. Okay, complete the process to add the vehicle to fleet. I believe in this case, the vehicle was previously used by us, which really helps the active status of the vehicle in the fleet dashboard. So this is SEP 293, and this is why the naming convention is so important. Not only do we have our vehicle number, but we have the unit ID from the vendor. If it's a enterprise vehicle, use an enterprise unit ID. If it's a company that you're using and they have a unit ID, use their unit ID. So like for LMR, we have LMR and then the last four of the VIN for the naming convention. Or if we have King B, then we're using KB8064, which is the last four of the VIN, and that's their naming convention for their vehicles. And so this will allow you to search them in these systems and know, shoot, did we have that vehicle before? I don't know. Let's check. SEP 293. Ooh, select inactive. Now you can see, yes, we have actually in-checked that vehicle into our system before. It looks like it was just recently. And so we can change this status to active from inactive. So press active and it wants to know the rental start date, which is tomorrow, and the rental end date, which was July 4th. So we'll put July 4th. And then we will choose a file. And that file is named conveniently for us so that we can quickly reference it as we're going through each of these systems. And we'll hit update. Uh-oh, something went wrong. Typically when this happens, if you hit update again and it says something went wrong, then what needs to happen is you need to refresh the page. It's just a little quirk that happens sometimes. And so that's today, the 9th. That might have been the problem. Yeah, it wouldn't let me select the 9th on the previous attempt. So let's go July 4th and choose a file. And there it is. Open and update. Now this vehicle is active in our fleet portal, and a driver can scan into it.